Hey everyone, today I'm going to do something a little bit different and fun. I'm going to do a junk drawer declutter, showing you before and after, that satisfying view of how messy it is to something that's at least a little bit more streamlined. But I also had a few ideas just bopping around in my head lately, ideas about better living and a concept I'm trying to integrate into my life more. And so I thought I would chat with you about that kind of theme wall decluttering. And that's a lot to do at once, but sometimes I feel like with my sit down videos, I'm so serious and just presenting something. Sometimes I want my videos to feel more like we're hanging out together. And so I feel like if I'm multitasking, getting something done while I'm shooting this, hey, maybe it'll be a new type of video I can create. But I'm going to show you the footage of the before of my junk drawers in my kitchen. I'm a little bit ashamed because, you know, as someone who's trying to pursue minimalism, these junk drawers aren't great, but I'm trying to just take little bites at my house and making it more streamlined. I'm not trying to put too much pressure on myself to do it all at once, to be perfect, to get it all right. Life is too messy for that. So I'm just going to do these couple of drawers today while we chat. Oh, by the way, I got my hair colored today. Super fun. I did have to walk out in the rain after, so it kind of fell down a little bit, but a little bit of a change. So first, I'm just gonna put a bunch of this stuff onto this surface so I can just go through it one step at a time. But the concept that I want to share with you is just a theme in my life that I feel like I need to be working on. Is just this idea that sometimes doing nothing is harder than doing something. I feel like I've heard that places. It's probably not an entirely new concept. Sometimes we just get so wound up in saying yes to things and agreeing to things because maybe they sound like great opportunities. In the US, there's like this culture of stay busy, show that you're busy, go on trips, share it on Instagram, also have a job, also have a hobby, and you need to also be working out and keeping your house streamlined and clean. And I just get overwhelmed by it all. But I don't know, sometimes as a result, I feel like there's this pressure to just be on top of it all the time, and I'm just not. And maybe also it's healthy to not always be busy. Like maybe it's actually good to just sit and to be sometimes, and sometimes saying no is hard, but it might actually be the best thing you can do for yourself. Same thing with talking to a friend and trying to fix somebody else's problems. Sometimes when a friend is expressing something that's difficult going on for them, I have this urge to come up with solutions and to give ideas about options of actions they could take. But realistically, usually in those situations, those friends just probably want to vent, and it's their way of processing what's happening for them. And so something I'm working on as a friend is to not really say anything and to just give a friend the space to vent and maybe reflect back what I'm hearing or validate. But I don't need to always do something or say something to fix their problems. So here's an example of something that I feel like I should take out of the container so that first of all, I actually use it, but then second of all, it takes up less space. Also, if I got this hook, why isn't it up? Like I got it for a reason, and now I don't even remember where I wanted to use this. So I need to either use it or lose it. More garbage. This is not necessary. Here's an example of something I have been missing. I've needed a ladle when I've had soup or made soup. It was in the kitchen at an easily accessible spot, but I didn't know it was there because there was so much stuff in the way. It just shows how decluttering can actually help you find the things that you'll really use. I really don't know why I was keeping sunscreen in the kitchen. What am I doing? Okay, so before I get to the next drawer, I just want to add another example of this is when you get offered a really great opportunity of some kind in life, like a great job or a great sort of extracurricular, we'll say, like an opportunity for a hobby or something. And sometimes if the thing is either impressive in some way or is given in the form of a compliment as well. It is so tempting to say yes. And believe me, I'm kind of a people pleaser, and so I tend to say yes to things, even when maybe my heart isn't fully in it, or I'm really overwhelmed and busy and it's just too much. And so sometimes saying no to those opportunities is emotionally hard, it's logistically hard. Like sometimes saying no takes more effort because you have to figure out an explanation or an excuse. And I don't know, realistically, I'm really working to say yes to only the opportunities that I'm excited about. And I think an example of this is lately I've been saying no to more sponsorships. I do like to take sponsorships on because it's fun sometimes to promote brands I'm genuinely excited about. I like collaborating and supporting others. It's also a way for me to fund the channel. But if I'm not excited about a brand, I don't want to say yes just because there's money involved or because I feel like it's something I should do. I want to say yes because I'm genuinely excited to share a brand or an item or whatever it is with all of you. So I'm just trying to be really, really choosy, even if that means I make a little bit less money. That's just an example, kind of like a very privileged example, but I also think this concept can apply to the bigger things in life, the more meaningful things of what opportunities do we say yes to out of obligation versus how do you actually want to spend your time? Sometimes saying no is harder, but it might actually be better. I just realized I haven't gone through these drawers in the 2 years that I've lived in this house, and it's just full of stuff. I kept Ginger's old rabies vaccine tag that's all bitten up. I have trouble getting rid of anything that is dog related because I'm like, oh, nostalgia. But look at this. She doesn't need this. So also here's an example of something that is a reflection of my sticky brain that verges on just way over collecting. I kept this little thing that I think I got at the Cluny Museum in Paris. It's kind of what you put on your clothing to indicate you paid to be there. And I just couldn't part with it because I felt like it was this, nostalgic memory to be there, but it doesn't even say the Cluny on it. Why do I need to keep this? Why do I need an object to remind myself I've been there when I actually have a whole video about it? I don't need this. I think that's sometimes why we have this old paraphernalia or these memorabilia pieces. It's because it feels like it takes us back because it was there, it was physically there. This thing is not the thing that actually brings me joy. It's the memories. I'm gonna part with this. Sorry to make such a big deal about this one little thing, but I think it's a lesson I can take and apply to other things in my life. Okay, so another thing that I just want to mention in relation to this whole doing nothing is harder than doing something. The reality is doing nothing gives your brain and your body a chance to reset. It allows you to rest and get restarted. It's like, why do you take little breaks between sets of reps when you work out? It's because you need that little break to let your body sort of absorb the workout and kind of rest, and then you can get back into it. And I think the same thing happens with our thoughts. And actually there's research to support that idea that when your brain is at rest, it allows memories to be consolidated. It allows you to absorb the things you've been learning more. And there's also some research to support the idea that it helps you plan future social interactions. I will link a couple of articles below in case you want to look more closely at the research around this. The problem is that humans don't like to do nothing. We want to go, go, go. We want to engage with things. We like to be entertained. But there are parts of the brain that light up or are activated when you're daydreaming. And daydreaming is a real kind of state of being that probably has some kind of functional purpose. And so if we never have any time to process and to just do nothing, our brain doesn't have the time to come up with new ideas and to approach life in a new way. And I have to say, even At the hair appointment this morning, there was one point where I was lying on this kind of like bed thing that was in front of where, you know, they wash your hair. For some reason, they had like sort of this flat thing as opposed to a chair. And so I was just lying there and I had nothing to do. And the woman left me for a little bit and was just like, wait here. And so I was just lying there doing nothing and I was just alone with my thoughts. And I got so annoyed at first, which just shows how much I feel like I need to be engaged all the time. But then after a few minutes, I just kind of relaxed and I kind of daydreamed, and it was actually a really nice moment. I don't know, I'm just gonna try to do more of that and try to create more space. I feel like that's a theme on this channel, but I just forget to do it. So now that I've just been chatting on and on, let me work on getting this stuff together, finishing this up, and showing you the after of these drawers. So there you have it, a quick little declutter and a little chat. Let me know your thoughts on all these themes, whether decluttering related or this idea of doing less and saying no to things related. Hopefully that sentence made sense. I don't know, this didn't take me that long. It took me like, what, 20, 30 minutes? And that was also when I was shooting a video and chatting about a bunch of things and stopping in the middle a bunch. So it just goes to show it doesn't take that much time to just make a change in your space and to feel a lot better about it. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have for you, but thank you so much for spending this little bit of time with me, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.